Attention military veterans and military personnel. This is Tracy from Lakewood College, and I am excited to announce the new partnership between ETA Associates and Jamal King's Make Real Estate Real. Give me a call so I can see if you qualify to receive the Make Real Estate Real with no out-of-pocket expense to you. I can be reached at 1-800-517-0857. My extension is 700. You may also visit us at www.money4vets.com. Again, that is money4vets.com. You may also schedule an appointment with me through my text-only number at area code 216-678-9933. I look forward to speaking with you all.
I would say, on the high end, if you had about 6 months of your expenses put away in cash, that's a good cushion that can allow you to take care of any emergencies. Your car breaks down, the roof leaks, the washing machine blows up. You can handle those things without having to use credit. On the lower end, probably 3 months, in an emergency fund. You want to have that cash liquid. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to be afraid of it.
This week, our show is brought to you by our partner in crime, Organifi. Organifi is an organic superfood supplement line that makes quality, trusted nutrition convenient and accessible. Their most popular product, green juice, can supercharge your life, restore that glow, and help you feel decades younger in just 30 seconds per day without having to worry about shopping for ingredients, mixing and blending them, and then cleaning up afterwards. All ingredients are USDA organic, vegan-friendly, and made without GMO ingredients, gluten, or soy. Where else can you get superfoods like chlorella, moringa, spirulina, wheatgrass, ashwagandha, and turmeric, just to name a few? So make sure you guys check it out at www.organifi.com/success. That's ORGANIFI.com/success.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips.
What's going on, y'all? What it do?
Me and Carl twins right now. You know what I'm saying? Got the cream joints on. We got Dr. King in the building. Dr. King.
It's all good. Y'all could be on the cream, boy. Like I said, y'all don't be sending me the memos no more. But you know what I learned? Always bet on black, baby.
Bet on black. It is Black History Month,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Another member of the Cream Club. Dr. Thomas, what's happening?
Man, bless, man. Ready to get into this podcast. I know you got some up your sleeve for this.
I don't got nothing up my sleeve. I had something up my sleeve about an hour ago. Shout out to E for I literally y'all. This the stressful part of having to be the quarterback on the squad. I literally text E 5 times and called him yesterday to verify the time, and then we start.
Watch this. I was having a conversation with my mom right before we was about to start. I was like, yo, Mom, this is the one thing I respect about the squad. When we say it's a time, we locked in. She going to be on 10 minutes early. I walked back out the room. She was like, what happened? I was like, well.
But here's the deal, Ma. C quarterback for CJ. Everybody know I teach a class. Everybody know I've been teaching the class for about 2 months now. So why are you even asking me to get on the podcast during the time I teach? So don't nobody know my schedule and respect my schedule.
Was y'all on the same group text I was on?
I'm teaching.
Was y'all on the same group text I was on?
Did you know I had a class to teach, Ma? Did you know I had a class to teach, Ma?
Which is why we scheduled the podcast for 30 minutes after your class.
Why you schedule a podcast on the day I teach?
You teach every day.
I don't teach every day. I only teach on Mondays. Monday is the only day I teach 2 classes, and they want to get in on my Monday now. We was cool when it was Tuesday. We was cool when it was Wednesday. Now they got to jump in on the only day I work. We got to do a podcast.
In the famous words of my philosopher grandfather, excuses like buttholes. Everybody got one and they all stink.
Okay, hey, so watch this though, Ma. This is what I could do for C. I could just say, let's not do it on Mondays. But I try to be nice and do his schedule so I can still work around
promise
him.
you.
Hey, Ma, because apparently he got something to do on Tuesday and Wednesday, and why he pushing me to do it on Monday?
No. I'm trying to take our podcast. No. I'm trying to take our podcast to another level, and we got a very special guest that could only do today. So I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to blow you up.
Well, no. Y'all should have recorded that guest so I can do my class
can't
and
record
then get on time. So Ma, no, so I can get it right. No Mondays unless it's afternoon. I'm teaching a class, two classes. To be
right, it's on record. It's on record.
I got Clubhouse at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Carl S, so he don't want to jump in this.
Ma. Ask CJ what he doing on Monday. Ask CJ what he doing
on Monday. I grind. Tuesday I grind.
Ask CJ what he doing on Monday. Bossing me around for a podcast when I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning grinding for the company, Ma. 3 o'clock.
Now he's going to force me to read the text thread. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. Eat back down because the evidence there.
No, I wouldn't have had to answer the question if he would have respected the fact that I work today. So why are you asking me on Monday when you know I work?
Here we go.
So, you know what I have to do more? I'm going to have to start being a high pilot. I'm going to have to be a high pilot and shut CJ down so he can't take the thread and read it. So next time I'm just going to say, I can't do it on Monday. I'm trying to be nice and I'm getting in trouble for trying to be nice.
This how you get CJ. What you do, man, is next time just say, man, I'm not sure. Let me have my assistant check my calendar.
But then he going to get pissed when your assistant call. He going to get pissed. How you going to send your assistant to me?
Read it or no? We good? We good or not?
So here's what we do. I take the L. Don't call me on Mondays no more. Don't call me on Monday and ask me to do it on Monday no more. I don't care what guest you got. Don't call me on Mondays. I work. I'm going to be a pilot, Ma. I work. Don't call.
You just said you done at 11:30.
I'm not done. I'm not talking to you on Monday. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to work. I'm not jumping off. Ma, then I had the nerve to jump off early, Ma, and I'm still getting this. Getting this.
Can you give us a thank God it's Monday from the bottom just for old time's sake? Let's start the podcast over.
Hey, Maul, if you ask me, maybe, but I can't give him jack.
Oh, bro.
Hey, big shout out to Sierra, though, on the real. Y'all see the gear. Somebody said the other day, hey, see, I ain't never seen you rock this much gear. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Our gear was mid back in the day. I'm just going to tell you the truth. These hoodies right here, though, let me tell you something. Whoo, on a whole new level. Shout out to Sierra.
Sucker's thick.
No. I'm talking about, bro, literally, like, and I talked to Adam. He got one. He was like, yo, this is the best hoodie I've ever worn in my life.
Ever.
No cap. I didn't wear the old ones. I'm just being real because I just, I like the Nike. I like a certain standard when I'm, you know what I mean? And like I said, it was cool, and I wear them every once in a while, but, it just didn't have that Nike feel. Bro, these feel better than Nike.
Oh, it's got something on the side, Ma. I don't know what the side things are, but it's got a thing where it massages your
just look at the
sleeve.
sleeve, dog.
like
you
that.
can tell by the sleeves, bro. No, these things is impeccable. So shout out to Sierra for lacing me. I came home this weekend with a nice package. So make sure you go order your grind gear right now. Holla at Sierra, tell her we sent her. Tell her we sent you. All right, so really quick, man. We ain't gonna do no elaborate thing, but wow, the GOAT is the GOAT. The GOAT is goating. He did some more GOAT things. We're recording on Monday. Sorry, E. But the Super Bowl was last night. So let me just I'll let E go first since he's busy. He might have to get out. You know what I'm saying? He might have to get out of here early. It's Monday.
Hey,
so
Ma,
I'll let him get.
I'm about to start C and C. Because if I call C and say, be like, E, I'm busy. I can't do it. How he treat me on the weekend, I'm about to start treating him like that on Monday.
Brady, he does it again. 7 Super Bowls. Going to 10, won 7. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Nothing.
I sat there. I should have known because I told you I don't bet against Brady, but I just thought Mahomes was that. I wasn't betting against Brady. I was betting on Mahomes, but I never again, bro. I mean, 43 years old. I don't even know. I run out of superlatives. I really don't even know what to say other than get that man the GOAT crown forever. I don't see nobody ever doing what he's doing. And the scary part about it is, what make you think he ain't gonna win it next year? E, I'll let you take it away. What'd you see?
Bruh, it wasn't a Super Bowl. That's what I saw. I'm like, man, they didn't score a touchdown, bruh. I'm like, bruh, they got 3 field goals in the Super Bowl. I don't know what to say. I'm just like, yo, what in the world? What did he say before the game? Because the defense had your boy looking like Matt Stafford on Thanksgiving. They had him look like Matt Stafford on Thanksgiving. I was like, what in the world?
Unbelievable, man. No, it was unbelievable to watch. And yeah, I was disappointed. I'm like, hey, Mahomes, I ain't going to say nothing. My brother got mad at me yesterday because I was watching the game, and I just so happened to point out that it's only been 2 Super Bowls for him. And even though they won last year, if y'all remember, he did not have a great game. And then we came back again, and that was very mid. So definitely looking to see Mahomes step it up a little bit. But
I was going to say Mahomes next year, but Brady said at the end, I'm coming back.
I'm coming back.
I'm just like, Ma, I'm through. I don't have nothing. I know y'all used to me have. I don't have nothing to say.
No, it's nothing to say. It's really nothing to say. Shout
you
out
saw
to
something deep, Ma.
Brady.
Tell me what you saw deep. I had nothing to say, bro.
No. The deepest thing I saw, man, on Super Bowl Sunday was hearing my brother E.T. the hip hop preacher during the Super Bowl commercial. You know what I'm saying? That's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Super Bowl commercial.
That's the real day.
That's the real
I was
Super Bowl
done.
commercial.
After I heard E doing the Super Bowl commercial, I was done.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I could turn this game off. I'm
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, we
Because
got
it
a
made
Super
it real, Ma.
It made it real, bro. I was in the presence of my family. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, man,
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
that's on everybody, dog, it took me back to, remember how I was telling you about that exposure? Your level of exposure determines your level of success. It took me back. So here it is. I used to go to football games, right? I used to go to NFL games because I had my boy, playing in the NFL. So it made it real for me. Seeing him on the field literally made it real because me and him was in class together, played college ball together. That made it real. But to hear you do a commercial during the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
And I talk to you every day. You know what I'm saying? It made it real for me again, dog. It was that same experience. I ain't care nothing about that game, bro.
And when did I text you,
there,
E, like maybe 5 minutes before the commercial came on? What did I text you?
With the toe boy.
Yeah. You see Toby, they had a cutout of Toby in the stands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, man, you talk about
we
your
both was
squad.
at the Super Bowl.
We got a twofer.
All right.
Hey, you know what's weird though, y'all? What's weird was I was watching the game. Like I was sitting there, me and Boog was next to each other. The commercial was on. It's weird. I can't even explain it, all. The commercial was on. Me and Boog were just sitting there like, I don't know what we was doing, but we were just sitting there. And then Jada was like, Dad. I was like, what's up, Jada? She's like, Dad, that's you. That's your commercial.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So I stopped. It was a long one too, Maul.
Yeah, it was.
long. Yeah, it was.
So I stopped to check it out. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real, because this don't happen often. But Didi went and grabbed the phone and put it up on her Facebook thing and was like, wow. And she said something to me about it, like, yo, you made it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And I guess for you, Maul, how you saw, but you gotta remember me being homeless, in this whole journey. And she just was like, wow, you made it to the Super Bowl. She was teasing me. My mom does this thing where me and my mom would be together. My mom would grab my arm and be like, son, can you believe? You know what I'm saying? My mom would say that.
Yeah.
Then he grabbed my arm and was like, Eric, can you believe? You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, wow, bro. I was like, it's surreal just because, of course, it's by osmosis, if that's what you want to call it. But when we were at Michigan State, there was some very intentional and deliberate conversations we were having before anything looked like any of this. And to me, I think what's more amazing is like we there, bro. Like we literally made the stuff we said we were gonna do. And I want to say this to everybody because I want you to know it never gets old. But we actually did what we said we were gonna do. Now we doing stuff that we didn't even know we were gonna do. And it's like, wow, like we still going. It's just amazing, man.
Let me take you back one more,
like
E.
Thanksgiving, y'all. I got so many texts. Instantly after the commercial, I got at least 50 texts.
Wow. Hey, I'm gonna take you back one more. The one thing that you threw away. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing that you threw away, your jersey.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, not only that, I just want to let E know that as much as he gets mad at me for being a pilot, and we argue. I think the last time we argued was I was forcing him to do voiceovers, And now we got a Super Bowl commercial. So
that
you know
was a real argument, Jamal. That wasn't no sibling rivalry, right? That was like you out of line, Negro.
Hey.
You out of line. Don't you talk to me like that.
Yeah,
and my wife was there, Ma. Don't you talk like that in front of my wife. But my wife was telling C to keep talking like that.
Listen, man. Shout out to the Super Bowl commercial. Everybody that watched it. All right, we got to get this guest in. We got to get this guest. Go and bring her in, Carl. Bring her in. Come on, man. Let me introduce her. They have no clue what's going on. I didn't tell them. Let's see. Okay. There she is. Okay, yeah, let's get her connected. Andra, can you hear us?
Hey guys, how are you all?
We're great. How are you?
Right. Good.
All right, let me set the scene real quick. Jamal and I have been arguing yellow cake versus chocolate cake.
I'm done.
And only on Monday we could have done this.
I'm about to call up Harold's Chicken. Go ahead. I'm going to call Harold's.
Listen. No. Wait. Listen. If you've been listening to this podcast over the last year, you know that we've had this ongoing debate about yellow cake and chocolate cake, all right? So people just, and Maul just keeps instigating. I tried to let it go, Andra. I really did. And then, Maul sends me a video of somebody eating a donut that got chocolate frosting and yellow inside. Tell CJ, what is this? So we've just had this long-going, debate, feud, if you will. Now, I will say this. As I introduce our guest, I moved to Atlanta maybe 10 years ago the first time, right? And we lived over in the Vinings, and we just happened to stumble upon a place called Cammy Cakes. And my wife, being a huge cupcake fan, was like, yo, let's go. We went in there. I promise y'all, the most phenomenal cupcakes you have ever had in your life. Listen, y'all know me. I'm not even big on sweets, but that red velvet cupcake, I don't know what you're doing to it. And maybe she could show give us a preview at some point. Oh, look at it. Oh, my.
Oh, that look like butter.
Listen, no, I'm telling y'all, it is the best cupcake you have ever had in your life. It is phenomenal. So, anyway, I figured, since we were having this, long-standing debate, that I would bring in the number one cake person in the United States. Now, I will say this as I get ready to introduce her. She's an amazing entrepreneur. First of all, I didn't even know it was Black-owned when I went in there, and I want to give a round of applause for Black excellence because let me tell you something. Andra actually was the first place I ever went to that had the iPad joint. Everybody got the trendy iPad stuff. Her stuff just on another level aesthetically, everything she does. So I wanted to give her a big shout out, but then also to bring her on. Now, as I introduce her and let her just tell a little bit about herself, I want to let Jamal know, and Andra can confirm this, I have done nothing to sway the jury. I have done nothing to sway the jury. And that's an honest woman. Don't call her a liar, Maul.
I'm calling you a liar.
No.
I don't even know her. I'm calling you a liar.
And you're not honest. Don't call her a liar.
Hey.
I love it, Carl. I love how you quarterback this.
Without further, Carl, mute Maul. Without further ado, ladies, y'all give a big hand to Andra Hall.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here.
Glad to have you on.
Started Cammy Cakes back in Jacksonville, Florida in 2009. Came to Atlanta. 2006. Came to Atlanta in 2009. So, we're still here and we're still doing the pandemic and all. So
I love it. I love it. All right. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to take a few minutes to plead my case, and then I'm going to let my counterpart, Mr. King, plead his case, and then we will let you settle this once and for all.
Oh, why swear? Why don't you let her speak and then just hear what she has to say?
Oh, no, I wanted to give her the background. She doesn't know what the foolishness that we got going on. She don't know nothing about it.
Just ask the questions and let her answer it without being swayed.
We're just going to say our opinions.
Isha, we flip a coin in Super Bowl nature and see who go first.
If you scared, go to church, dog.
You already went to church yesterday.
If you scared, go to church.
Went to church yesterday.
Go back to online church.
Fine. I'm sitting here just saying, let her just tell us.
She got to know the opinion, or she got to see how we phrased it. She got to come in on the because it may not be a straightforward answer.
But you're gonna sway her, so let her just say what she's saying.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and you bump that. I'm gonna ask you, and you tell us the answer to it.
No. It could be more complex than that. So again. And I'm the host of this show, so y'all be quiet.
See, that's the problem, Carl.
You know
He
what I'm
tell you
saying?
which day to be on, what time. He hosts the conversation.
When to talk.
My point, Andra, I apologize for them, Andra. They don't know how to act. We never had a guest before, so so this whole thing, I just want to give her a backdrop. You know what I'm saying? We got listeners, Mo. You can't just jump into stuff. I'll teach you how to do it later. So Andra, this started because we were somewhere and somebody said, "Hey, if somebody says, bring me a piece of chocolate cake,
Right.
what does that mean to you?" And I said, well, if I told somebody to bring me chocolate cake,
Right.
it's got to come to me. And the
Right.
base of the cake, the actual cake mix, has to be chocolate in order to call it a chocolate cake.
Yes.
So my point would be that no matter what you put on top of it as a frosting, it doesn't necessarily make it that type of cake. It makes it whatever the cake is plus the frosting. So I was actually surprised to know that there was another group of people out there. And Jamal does have a lot of supporters. Maul has a ton of supporters on Team Maul that say that, I guess, any type of cake that you just slap chocolate frosting on is actually chocolate cake. No. Hey, I'm giving my side. I'm giving my side.
Oh, bro.
I'm about to give you the floor.
Be a police officer.
I'm about to give you the floor.
You couldn't be a detective.
So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking in my head, so anything you put on top of it just makes it chocolate. So if I got vanilla ice cream and I put some chocolate syrup on it, does that make it chocolate ice cream? I didn't know his logic, so I didn't understand. But he said where he's from, if you have a yellow cake and you put chocolate frosting on it, that's considered chocolate cake too. So that's my only point, was that in order to be a chocolate cake, it has to have a chocolate base, and then whatever else is cool. I guess you can do strawberry, whatever on the frosting. But again, Ma, you can plead your case. Go for it.
First off, thank you so much for even indulging in this.
No questions asked.
But she at work, Mom.
Hey, you know, from one entrepreneur to another. I know you so busy and you ain't really got time for these kid games like CJ doing, but I appreciate you. So,
no, who trying to sway the jury now? Maul trying to flex his muscles. Maul done got a tighter t-shirt.
I'm not flexing my muscles right now.
It's not hard to do.
I'm not flexing my muscles. Excuse me.
I'm honored to be here.
That piece of cake that's right next to you, I think it's to your right. What is that?
That is caramel cake.
It's caramel, but it's yellow inside.
I got it.
But it's yellow inside.
frosting is
It has caramel on the outside, but why is that called caramel cake? Why is that called yellow cake?
I put it here for a reason.
Okay. Come on. So is that all you want to do anymore?
No, I want to hear what she has to say, CJ.
All right, Andrew. Okay.
But this is what kind of cake?
That's a chocolate cake.
That's a German chocolate, I think.
And it has what kind of frosting? Caramel frosting.
I can't see it. What does that say, though?
You can't see it.
Yeah, read it to us.
These two cakes have the same type of frosting, but without any description at all. You immediately identified this as a chocolate cake.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
This is no description at all. You would identify this as a what?
Well, caramel cake, because
Yellow cake.
I saw the
No, caramel cake. You would say caramel.
The same frosting on them.
Okay. Okay. I would have said caramel cake only because I know it to be a caramel cake. I don't really hear the word yellow cake often used.
Right. And so that's a caramel cake,
Right.
but it's a caramel.
That's just by name, but by this.
Oh, man.
Oh, she went out.
Went out. Oh, man. CJ did that.
No. Andrew, come
CJ
back.
cut her off.
No.
This is a chocolate cake with caramel. This is the yellow cake with caramel frosting. Name. Right?
Okay, Andrew, start over. We lost you for a quick second. We got you back. We got you back. No, we got you back.
Up, you went out.
Oh, okay, I went out.
Okay,
So,
we got you.
If you didn't know the names, I'm bringing these two cakes. Let's see, we're at a restaurant. I'm bringing these two cakes to your table. You don't know the names of them or anything. I say, here's our chocolate option, which is a chocolate cake with caramel frosting. Here's another option. It's a yellow cake with caramel frosting. So you don't know the names. I understand your logic, but by description, one is chocolate, one is yellow.
Now, can I ask you a question? And I had nothing to do. I'm not in this, but I do want to ask you a question.
Yes.
I don't know that I've ever heard anybody describe a yellow cake as a yellow cake.
Never.
Yes. You've heard it as what?
With the frosting,
whatever the frosting is. I've never just heard nobody say, "Hey,
that's a
Carl,
caramel
go to the
cake.
store and get me a yellow cake." I've
Right.
never heard that before. Now I have heard chocolate though. I have heard chocolate.
double chocolate. You eat double chocolate.
I'm saying I've never heard of a yellow cake. So I know yellow cake to be based on what the frosting is. That's usually how they identify whatever a yellow cake is.
So what makes a cake yellow are eggs, the egg yolks. So if I didn't have egg yolks in this cake, it would be white.
Okay.
So then would it be a white cake or would it still be named by with a
Well, no,
frosting?
the yolk makes it yellow.
We would describe it as a white cake because it wouldn't have the egg yolks in it, which is why this cake is yellow because it has.
Good.
If it didn't
Does it have flavor? Does the yellow itself has flavor? So the caramel cake. So if you take the icing off of that yellow piece of
cake, what would they call
does it
that
taste
cake?
like?
Well, it tastes like vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
just
called
never
a
had a yellow
caramel, but it's
cake
called a
before.
caramel cake. So
Ma, don't get into it.
Don't argue with the guest. Don't argue with the guest.
No.
She's the expert.
No. We'll get to CJ. I just don't want CJ.
These are really for CJ. I'm just trying to get the logic from it.
No, I'm just saying, I don't
just want
want
to say,
CJ
hold on, let me say
take you somewhere,
this.
Jamal.
If you take the icing off of the cakes itself, the cake itself really doesn't have a
Call
taste.
them all on the
almost, right?
side, Carl.
Well, I mean,
Call them all on the side.
it doesn't taste like the vanilla. I mean, it doesn't taste like the caramel. The caramel icing makes it taste like caramel.
Absolutely.
Right.
I've never had a yellow cake.
I put caramel on this cake too. I know caramel. I put it on this cake too, but the leading flavor is chocolate. The base of the cake itself is chocolate because it's enhanced with cocoa and melted chocolate.
I think you need to send me some to let me try it.
Itself without the caramel frosting tastes like vanilla because we have vanilla extract in this.
So then
cake.
is that a vanilla cake?
Yes, it can be described as a
But you
cake.
call it a
But if I
caramel
put
cake.
chocolate on it, can I describe it as a chocolate cake?
For cake connoisseurs, the reason why I call it a yellow cake is a white cake can taste like vanilla too because it can have vanilla extract in it. People really know cake. A cake is yellow because it has egg yolks in it.
But you call it the name of the icing because that's a caramel.
On that one.
Call it the name, not in this case, because that's how most people identify this cake.
There we go.
Main things
That's
are
it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So what if you had chocolate on it? Would they identify it as chocolate cake?
It was identifiable. So, I mean, okay, you don't know anything at all, and you just look at this.
Oh, no questions asked. Oh, no questions asked.
E, ask that question again, E, about the chocolate you just said.
Because that one has caramel on it and it's identified as a caramel cake. If I put chocolate on it, would they identify that as a chocolate cake?
Good question. So, and we do that two ways here at bakery. So this cupcake is a same yellow cake, but it has chocolate frosting. We don't identify this as a chocolate cake, but we put chocolate in the name because it's topped with chocolate. But the cake itself, and this cake is without, I tried to put the names here, but without even
That's double chocolate.
explaining to you what it is. You know
That's double chocolate.
That's double
I love it.
Listen, I told all the ladies here in the bakery, and
Yeah.
I asked them what makes a chocolate cake to them.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. We're going to take your word for it.
She already did.
Don't do
She
that.
said she already did.
You're going to take your word for it.
She already did.
Well,
Ma'am,
He just try to set them all up for the...
Ma'am, I polled all the guys at Harold's Chicken, and they told me
What you got there, Andre? What's that?
Listen, you don't know what's inside of this cake, but just by looking at it, what is it?
it's
A
chocolate,
chocolate
cake.
cake.
Chocolate.
I don't care what's in it, but it's chocolate.
I'm saying just by
The,
My mouth don't
the
taste chocolate.
icing. The icing is that's what he's saying. That he's looking at the icing and making a determination by the icing. Because he doesn't know what's inside.
It's gonna taste like chocolate. When the
Yeah.
chocolate hit my tongue, it's chocolate.
Well,
When the caramel hits my tongue, I taste caramel.
Hey, I want to send you my address though. I want to taste that velvet though.
The part I'm waiting on. E.
Nah.
I want to taste that velvet.
listen, according to Webster, a chocolate cake is any cake that is flavored with melted chocolate, cocoa, or both. According to Urban Dictionary.
That's it. That's why. That's where Ma got that from. CJ is never on the
Yeah, that's
Urban
the
Dictionary.
Urban.
That's the problem.
No.
CJ
No,
not
I'm
on
not.
the Urban Dictionary.
And it says that
Yeah.
the cake is made of chocolate. It's very yummy for most people,
Yeah.
except the haters.
That's perfect. Hey.
Let me throw one wrench, see?
Okay.
Why do we call a red velvet a red velvet? What kind of icing is on that?
So red, because it's red. It's red. So the history of a red velvet cake is, it used to be called Red Devil, but we went away from the name.
I like that.
But the cake itself, can you see it? The cake itself,
Oh yeah, but you taste the actual cake in that one, Carl. That's cake. That taste is strong.
But
I had a red velvet cake that almost tastes like chocolate. The cake.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's cocoa in this cake, and some people really go far with the cocoa, and so a lot of red velvet cakes look really dark because the cocoa is they use more than we do. But a red velvet cake itself is a buttermilk cake, but it's enhanced with a little cocoa.
Oh, beautiful. Man, well, listen, Andra, you have been incredible for putting up with our foolishness. We are ridiculous. But listen, I want you to please, man, promote the business. Let them know where they can find you. Let them know where they can find you online.
Yeah,
let them know when you're in Atlanta, you better come by. Please let them know where they can follow you on IG, everything.
Yeah. So on IG, that's mainly how you can find us, and it's Cami Cakes Cupcakes. So easy.
CAMI.
CAMICAKES. Cupcakes.
Andra, you are the best. I will see you soon. Like I said, I frequent all the locations. I just had one.
Congratulations to you as well.
Not long ago. We do it for birthdays, everything. So if you are in Atlanta, around Atlanta, ever visit Atlanta, go to Cami Cakes.
Do you ship out?
What was the conclusion here? What did you guys?
There is no conclusion. I want to know, do you ship out?
We don't ship anymore. We should ship nationwide. And so maybe when the pandemic is over, we'll pick back up. But right now,
bump the pandemic. I give you permission to send in my house.
Hey, I can do that. Not a problem.
No, I do it. The conclusion, though, is real. And this has happened sometimes when we're dealing with CJ. Yeah. Right now, CJ is not. He is not concerned about the urban side of this thing at all. He's not concerned about the urban side in this case. This like the margarine sitting out on the counter right here. He's very biased right now.
Andra, there's a history of them being very racist. I'm half white, and so they often tease me about that half white side, and because I like to be on time.
We don't tease them at all. There are some things that are very.
And that's the point. You said it. CJ is just because on the outside he got a little brown chocolate on him, but on the inside he got the vanilla. So he's trying to justify his 50-50 split.
Thank you, Andra. We love you.
I like chocolate. This is chocolate.
Hey, thank you so much, Andra. Take care.
Frosted.
I'll see you at Cami Cakes. Bye-bye.
That was a good one, Ma. He got frosted. He got a frosted.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Shout out to Andra, man. Seriously, if you buy Cami Cakes, one of the reasons I wanted to do that, man, is because I want to start highlighting entrepreneurs and things of that nature. And so not only did I think it would be funny and cool for us to do that, but I also want you guys, if you're in the Atlanta area or around, seriously, amazing. I don't just say that. Like, I sought her out. She didn't call me. Like, I literally got a hold of her and was like, hey, I would love to bring some attention and light to your business. You know, the pandemic, hit people different, and I'm sure they still rocking and rolling, but definitely, want to make sure that we're highlighting our entrepreneurs out here getting to it, man. So shout out to Cami Cakes. If you're in or around that area, go check it out, Cami Cakes. And then just go on IG and check out how fire everything looks. Like, I promise you, it's excellence for real. So, hey, with that being said, we have our other guest in the building. We can get to a more serious topic. Is he there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's bring him in. Y'all know this next guy. Man, there he is. Where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Hey, this next guy needs no introduction. If you've been listening to our podcast over the past few years, you know that he's been on here several times, man. He's a family member of the podcast. And I just, in light of everything that's kind of going on, I know I was following the stock market and, the robinhood stuff. And I don't necessarily want to talk about all of that, Rob, because I know, you may be tired of talking about that. You can maybe give us a brief history as to what's going on. But I wanted to bring you on, again, to talk to us about investing, to talk to us about generational wealth. On this podcast, we talk about it a lot from the entrepreneur side, but also the financial side is obviously, critical. Knowing how to manage our money, knowing how to invest, knowing how to spend, all of those things, man. So welcome back, Rob. Rob Wilson,
Thank you.
the GOAT. Good to have you back, brother. How you feeling?
Oh man, I feel great, and it's really, really good to be here with you guys.
So, man, there's been let's cover it really quick. Maybe you can give us the elevator version of what happened with the stocks. We know the Robinhood thing happened. I was following it pretty close, but I'm an amateur with all of this. So, why don't you tell us in a nutshell what happened? How we got there, and is this a trend or is this something that was a one-time off?
Yeah, so here's what happened. There's two ways that you can sort of, I hate to call it betting, but let's just say bet on a stock, right? So you can buy a stock if you like it and you think it's going up. You like Apple, you like Nike, you think it's going up, you buy the stock. That's called going long. But you can also bet against the stock if you don't think the company's doing very well, you think it might go bankrupt. You can bet against the stock, and that's called going short. But the problem with going short is that you have to use shares that you don't actually own. So technically what happens when you short a stock, you borrow the shares from someone else, and then you immediately sell them in the market because you think that you can buy them back cheaper later on down the line. Now, so if you borrow the shares, you sell them at 100, it goes down to 50, you buy them back, you give them back to the original investor, you win. But if you borrowed the shares and you sold them at 100, and then it starts to go to 120 and then 130 and 150 and then 200, now you have to rush in there to buy the stock back in order to stop your losses. And if there are a bunch of investors who have been betting against the stock like that, that's when you get what's called a short squeeze because everybody's rushing to go buy the stock back. And that's exactly what you saw happen with GameStop. And people like to think and say that the Reddit traders are unsophisticated because they're at home and they're retail traders. This is actually a very sophisticated thing that they recognize. But look, we can all see the short interest on the stock, and GameStop had 150% of its shares outstanding held short. If you would have just looked that up, which fortunately I did for a number of my clients, you would have seen that was a situation that was just unsustainable.
Okay. Yeah. And then we saw you had a couple of your clients made some real bread over there, and I was mad I wasn't one of them. I was mad I wasn't one of them. You sent me a screenshot. Somebody came all the way up.
Well, but you know what? The message, there's a lot of messages behind this thing. One is that, look, I can't necessarily predict that I'm going to go do that at will tomorrow. And, I would never tell anybody or suggest that. But the point is that you have to be in the game if you're going to be able to take advantage of these opportunities. What you want to do is get in there. You want to go hit singles and doubles. You know what I mean? You want to slap the ball around, get on base. And then every now and then see they're going to leave a fat one right over that middle of that plate. And then we're going to take that out the park. So, but you have to be in the game in order to have a chance.
So tell us about this Robinhood app, because they actually, once Wall Street start losing and the little guys was getting up on the big guy, they actually shut it down. What was that shady of them? Were they playing foul? And I want everybody out here to just know, this is why we talk about working so hard and going and getting your own, because I promise you, they do not want you to get to it. They do that. This is a clear example. So tell us what happened with the whole Robinhood.
Was it the refs from the game last night, Rob?
It seemed like it.
Refs?
It absolutely seemed like it. So here's the deal. When you get on an app and you buy a stock, it pops up in your account. Seems like it happens seamlessly, but it actually behind the scenes takes the trade a couple of days to settle. So your broker, whether it's Fidelity, Schwab, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Webull, Robinhood, whatever it is, they actually have to make sure that they have enough money to cover the trade. Because if you sold the stock to somebody, you want to make sure that you actually get your money. So what happened was when GameStop, when the price went from $30 to $350 so quickly, they wanted to make sure that they weren't going to get stuck holding the bag if the stock dropped very quickly. So think about it. Let's say on Monday you buy GameStop at 300 and then Tuesday it goes down to 50. Do you really want to do you really want to pay for the trade if you have a choice to or not to? Right. Would you pull your money out before the trade actually settled? So they said, listen, this stuff is moving around too quickly. We have to cut our losses because we do have requirements that the SEC makes us follow. So that's why they had to throttle the trading in those stocks. Though I will say I would not be surprised if there weren't some of those people at those big hedge funds who have invested in Robinhood who said, listen, you need to do something about this quickly.
Yeah. And that's crazy that the irony of being named Robin Hood, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
bro, the irony. So, all right, cool. I'm going to ask another question. I'm going to let the guys get to it, and I want to just kind of throw out for general financial conversation. But for those of us who invest in the market, more the old-fashioned way, I say, right? Like myself. So my wife and I have our account, as you know, when we kind of let somebody handle it and we don't look at it and didn't plan on looking at it like that until we're 65 years old, right? Like this, when we looked at the stock market, in terms of getting our portfolio together years and years and years ago, we just said, all right, cool. The stock market goes up every year on average, whatever it's going to be. In 30 years, I don't care what it is, it's going to be higher than what it is today, and our money's going to grow faster. And we kind of set it aside and really don't look at it. But now, because of technology and all of these other things, I got friends who are like, they on their phones and they trading stocks and doing all of this. Now, let me say this. I'm not a smart man, so I'm scared to death to go on there and be fooling around with 5-10 grand and just blow it. Because first of all, I'm not even that tech savvy. But should we be like doing our own kind of daily whatever? Or, and I guess maybe this is a trick question, should we just give it to Rob and just say, all right, I'm going, you know what I'm saying?
Me up,
Should we keep a little bit of money for ourselves and start doing it? Or is it smart to just be like, hey, I'm going to get it? Like, I don't fix my own sink. You know what I'm saying? My man in there right now working on my kitchen. I'm not going in there to like try to learn how to do kitchens. I'm trying to stick to what I'm good at. But now, man, you see so many people, and my brother's talking about it. He's like, yo, I just made $500 doing this, doing that every day. And I'm like, wow, should we be getting into this? Are there any dangers, pitfalls, ups, downs?
Yeah, so I don't think that you should be day trading. I am a little bit worried about people who think that this is a casino and it's a game and that stocks, never go down. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But I do think that there's a middle ground where it shouldn't just be, don't ever look at your statements. So I think you do want to be engaged. You want to know what's going on in the market, and you want to be able to take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves. So you don't want to treat it like it's funny money, but at the same time, there is wealth to be made in the market. And so, look, I say this all the time too. You can't become the best basketball player who ever lived if you're playing baseball. Right. Mm-hmm. So Mike said, listen, this isn't what I was born to do. I need to make sure that I'm playing the right game.
Absolutely.
One of the ways that wealth is built in this country is by investing and building up your capital. Our economic system is called capitalism. It's not called employeeism. And so that's why it's so difficult to build wealth as an employee. Now, there are highly compensated employees. Tom Brady is a highly compensated employee.
Yeah, no questions asked.
It can be done. But for the most part, the people who are building wealth have equity. They have property or they've invested in other companies and they let their money make money for them. So I don't think that you should be in there like it's the movie Wall Street and you're trading pork bellies and so forth. Mm-hmm. But I think you should be engaged. You should know what's going on around you. And you should perhaps consider maybe hiring a professional to do
absolutely
for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody you would recommend, Rob?
And try to motivate me.
No, there's a guy that I see on CNN and NBC and Fox. Handsome, smart. Every now and then. Might be.
Look a little bit like Dame Dash.
Look,
a little bit like Dame.
You know what?
But we call him Rob Wilson.
If I do this, what if I do this? What if I do that? If you make this the screenshot, they're definitely gonna think that Dame Dash is on the show. If we do that, but
we got Dame on the show.
I'd rather have Rob on the show right now. I'll take Rob. Rob, let me ask you this though, Rob. I'm terrified. It's a lot, bro. It's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Where do I start?
So you start by investing in things that you know.
That was a hypothetical, by the way. He got more money than Jesus these days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No,
he's just trying to bring it down to the common folk. I know.
Yeah. He's talking about I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Look at this. I'm terrified all around me.
But look, so you start by investing in what you know. Don't just turn on the TV, okay, and start investing in Bitcoin and all of these things if you can't explain what Bitcoin is. Don't just go chase something if you don't understand what's going on. Look through your bank statement, go through the top 20 places that you spend money. Of that, I guarantee you 10 of them will be publicly traded companies. So
Chipotle.
you eat Chipotle, McDonald's, you buy your clothes at the Gap, you go to movies at AMC. There's going to be at least 10 publicly traded companies. Yeah. Use that as your short list to start investing. Just because, now, let me be clear, just because you know it doesn't mean it's going to be a good investment. But that's your place to start doing some research and then decide where you want to put your money. But let me also say this. People are afraid to put their money to work because they don't understand. They haven't been educated. I didn't grow up talking about this stuff at the dinner table either, but you had to start somewhere. You know, people don't invest in property, Jamal, because they never did it. Their parents didn't do it. And so they don't understand how it works. So part of it is just getting educated. Mm-hmm. And part of it is you learn by doing. It used to be that you had to have, look, if Amazon's trading at $3,000 a share, you had to have $3,000 to go buy one share of Amazon. Now that they've created fractional trading, you could say, I want to take this $5 extra that I have in my pocket, and I want to go put that in Amazon. That has really leveled the playing field, and there's really no excuse for not starting to learn about how to put your money to work.
Yeah, that's something. Look, real quick. See,
go for it. No, go for it.
One other thing. So, Maul, help me, right, by saying, it's not an issue of if you should get involved in the real estate game. You're already in it, right? And for real, I'm going to say that every time I'm trying to help somebody because it eliminated the fear for me. It's like you already in the game. You know what I'm saying? You just on the side where the refs is calling pass interference. You know what I'm saying? But you in the game, though. You know, so with that statement, can you say that that's somewhat true in investment, or you nowhere near? Like if you ain't in stocks and Wall Street and whatever, you ain't nowhere in the game.
No, when Jamal said that, man, it really hit home, because you know what? When you're talking about investing, yes, you are 100% absolutely already in the game. If you have a checking account, you are invested. The problem is that you're making 0% on your investments, or you're making 0.001% per year on your investment. So you're invested already, but you have very low yielding investments. What you need to do is figure out how to earn more on your investments. And so
why do we do that, Rob? Why would I do that? Like, I'm just saying, if I know I'm only getting 0, why do I do it? I know my mama did it, but I'm saying, like, somebody made
that's why you do it.
That's the answer. That's why you do it, because your mama did.
Okay, I'm just saying, somebody made it seem like it's super secure. So, and the other one is like taking a huge risk.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about education. See, you can sleep relatively good at night. You go to sleep, you got $1,000 in your checking account. You know, when you wake up in the morning, there's going to be $1,000 in your checking account, and you feel like if you put your money into this black hole that you don't understand, it might disappear tomorrow. Not understanding, again, there are ways for you to manage your risk. And without getting too far in the weeds, I think this is something important for people to learn, because they feel like it's like going to the roulette table if you put money in the stock market. Right. But you can go buy a stock and you can immediately that moment say, let me just give you an example. Let's say we bought Apple at $100, okay? You can immediately say, if that stock goes down to $80, I'm going to set an order to sell it immediately if it goes down to that price level. No matter where you are in the world, whether you're in a meeting, whether you're on a basketball court, whatever, if that stock hits that price, you're going to sell. So what that means is now you have discipline. Now you have a plan. You have an exit strategy. You're not just putting money in there hoping and praying that it's going to go up. Because look, you can take a 20% drop. That's fine. Stocks go up and they go down. You just can't let it go down 40, 50, 60%. So when you have a strategy like that, then you know what your downside is. And let me say how you can do it on the other side. We bought Apple at 100. Let's say it goes up to 150. Then we can also change that order from $80 and say, we're going to sell it if it goes down to 130. So now worst case scenario, you've locked in your 30% gain. This is when you turn from a gambler into an actual investor when you have discipline and a plan and a strategy, and it's not just, a hope and pray type of attitude.
Yeah, no, that's good. I quickly, you mentioned the cryptocurrency, and I think all of us are old, and that's no excuse, right? We need to be educated. One, can you give us old heads who don't know just a quick maybe breakdown on how Bitcoin and these other cryptos work, just crypto for dummies, if you will, and then also your feelings and thoughts behind whether us old heads are already behind the game and should be getting in there doing something about it.
Well, I do feel like the cryptos are a very highly speculative investment, right? Because there's really nothing underlying the value of Bitcoin. I've been in the financial industry for 15 years. I can't come up with some sort of calculation to tell you why Bitcoin is trading where it is right now. Now, some people who really believe in cryptocurrencies would say, well, what's the value underlying the dollar? That we're not on the gold standard anymore. So why is the dollar trading where it is? And there's some truth to that. But you also have the full faith and credit of United States and United States military backing up the dollar, which
Right.
gives it some value, which you don't have with Bitcoin. So the first thing I got to say is that they're all very highly speculative. The way it works is that it's a distributed currency. So there's no Federal Reserve that's controlling it. And that's why people like it, because you saw what happened with Robinhood. People wanted to go in there, get in the game, buy a stock, and they were able to control that and shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, with a cryptocurrency, since no one controls it, no one can do that to you. And so that's why people like it. But without there being anything underlying the value, it's hard for me to recommend that to people. That being said, there's nothing wrong with having some small portion of your portfolio in something that's speculative. Look, Amazon.com at some point was a speculative investment. Netflix at some point was a speculative investment. So it's okay to speculate a little bit because, listen, with a lot of these companies, we don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't want to put money in there that you can't afford to lose. And if it starts going the other way materially, you want to have a plan to get out. So it's okay to speculate a little bit, which I think these are.
Rob, can you just break it down even a little bit further? So I know, and I know a little bit, but I guess one coin is about $30-some thousand now. There's only so many coins, but it's basically just a bunch of people trust that this is worth something, right? Like I just want to make sure we, like the audience, because it was so confusing to me, and it still is. I'm starting to maybe get a little bit of it, but it's basically just a whole bunch of people agreeing that this, imaginary coin is actually worth something. There's no actual coin. There's no physical. It's not like a dollar where you can hold it. It's literally just everybody agreeing that this is worth something, right?
Yeah, it's an absolute digital currency. There are no physical coins, and you're 100% right. It is just a group that or just people in the market have gotten together and said, we believe that this is a store of value, which again, to some degree, you could say about the dollar.
Yeah,
to some degree, you could say that about the stock market as well. The stocks trade in a market. There's no specific calculation that says Apple did this, so it trades at this price. It's people in the market have decided that that's what they're willing to pay. And so to that degree, Bitcoin isn't all that different than other investments, but at least with Apple, that there's a business there. There are products, there are sales, there's revenue, there's employees. You don't have that with Bitcoin. And so that's why it makes it so hard for me to recommend that as an investment for people.
Sound like the podcast. It used to be guaranteed on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's on Mondays now. You know what I'm saying? It's Maul. Who's controlling it, Maul?
Hey, man.
Who's controlling it?
Hey, and Rob, this is not a direct question to you, but I want to speak to the audience for a second, man. When I tell y'all, I went to the bank, Maul, because Maul introduced us to the concept of a trust, and I just want people to even see it. Maul, if I hold this up, you know what it is.
Oh, bro,
you know what it is.
Of it. Yes.
A year ago. Well, sorry,
everybody should hold their trust up. You should just do a trust.
I'm not playing
podcast.
Rob, I want people to understand that the information that they're hearing it none to play with. Maul, I went to the bank now to connect my accounts and everything to the trust. I walked out of there so pissed, y'all. And the reason I was pissed, I walked in and said, hey, I'm here to do this. And they were like, oh, cool. Here are the steps. 1, 2, 3. where do we get educated, Rob? Like for real. Like it was common language walking into the bank, and I had to go to 2 different banks. I walked into Chase Bank, I walked into MSU Credit Union. They both knew exactly what I was saying. It wasn't foreign to them. I walk out of the bank and I see one of my cousins or somebody else, and it's just like, what? What is that? Like, I want people to understand that the information that we give in here, this is not a joke. Like, I don't care where you are or what you got going on. You might not be ready to start. Rob just told you ain't got no excuse. But I'm just saying, wherever you are, this information is not a joke. Everybody else knows it, and we don't. And let me just be real. We the ones that's hurting. So I'm just really begging people, like, don't just listen to this for entertainment, man, y'all. Like, do this. Like, take this stuff seriously. Sorry, that was my vent, Rob.
No, you're 100% right. I mean, but for some degree, I think there's a reason that they don't teach this in school. You would think the 2 most important things in people's lives, health and wealth, would be a part of an educational curriculum, but they're not. But what folks can and need to do immediately is go to Breathe University, go take the financial mastery course that we have in there, where we break a lot of this stuff down. You can get my book, Secure the Bag, Create the Life You Desire by Managing Your Money Like You Mean It. I mean, I put that together to take everything that I've learned in 15 years working with very wealthy people to say, this is the blueprint. This is the plan that we need, to put in place if we're ever going to be able to create generational wealth, right? We cannot do that if we don't take care of our own affairs, and nobody else is going to do that for us. But guys, and one thing I really want to point out is that one of the lessons that I think we should take from this whole Robinhood, Reddit, GameStop situation is that, number one, people should realize that they're not smarter than you. You had a bunch of retail traders at home who were trading with $50 and $100, maybe $1,000, who took down a major hedge fund. The guys who were supposed to be the smartest guys in the room with all the degrees and all the money, they are not smarter than you. They may have had an advantage. They may have had a head start in life. They may have had someone give them capital, which allowed them to take more risks, but they're not smarter than you, number one. And number two, the power of the collective. If you don't get it now, I just don't know if you're ever going to get it. People, they always say, well, like, my vote doesn't count. But look what happened in the presidential election and in the runoff election in Georgia. Your vote counts. And what happened is you had a bunch of people. Listen, if I go buy 50 shares of GameStop, it doesn't make a difference. When 3 million people decide that they're all going to do something in concert, then you make a difference. Yeah. So how do we apply that? Well, let's take real estate. Everybody gets worried and upset about gentrification. We all walked by all of those properties every single day and said, I would like to buy that, but I don't have the money. But not realizing that we
had the money,
could have bought every single one of those properties that we wanted to if we had the wherewithal to join up together, trust each other, pool our assets and our resources and our knowledge. And then we wouldn't be worrying about what other people are doing in our community. So I hope people get interested in the market and they want to make money and all of those sorts of things. But those are 2 really key lessons I hope people learn from what happened.
So here's I'm sorry, Maul. Go for it, Maul.
No, I was just gonna say, like, what do you think about diversifying for people that's, out here and probably, they don't want to. Some people are so heavy just in Bitcoin, or they're so heavy in the stock market. When I first started out, which a lot of people don't know, I was so interested in the stock market that I actually got my Series 7 and Series 63 through Edward Jones. Just from my own knowledge, actually. I didn't never really work that, probably like a year. But I would even still use my real estate, right? So how I talk about how I bought a building for every bill that I have. Once I was able to pay all my bills off from my properties, I started to use that income to start investing in the stock market and just start buying stocks. So here it is. I was building my real estate portfolio, but I was also, purchasing mutual funds, stocks, and seeing that grow. So, as far as how should a person's portfolio look as far as diversification?
Yeah, Jamal, you have to be diversified, because take a look at what happened in the pandemic. So through no fault of their own, people's businesses were shut down.
Yep.
And so they overnight lost a big percentage of their income. But what was going on at the exact same time as that was happening? The stock market was hitting new all-time highs.
Yeah.
Almost every day. And so what happened is, we encourage people to, yes, you want to be entrepreneur, you want to have a side hustle, or you want to go start your own business, but that should not be the end all be all, because you want some other asset that's going to be able to perform when maybe one of those assets aren't. What happened during the financial crisis in 2007, 2008? People that were flipping homes and didn't really know what they were doing lost their shirt. But people who had rental properties and knew that people were always going to need a place to stay.
Look at Maul trying to act like the star student in class.
They kept getting those
Try
checks.
to tell y'all,
I'm over here like this.
Raising my
hand.
Oh, teacher's pet.
Exactly.
And he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
They kept getting those checks. And so you want to, listen, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. We don't know if there's going to be another pandemic or what the next economic shock is going to be. Right. But the point is, if you're diversified, you've got real estate, you've got a business, you've got stock market, you've got insurance, and maybe even you still have your full-time job. That means when one thing goes away, something else is going to pick up the slack, and then you won't have these huge ups and downs in your personal finances.
Yeah. I want to go back here because, Carl alluded to it, man, but I think it's tough, Rob. Let's just be real, and I need you to speak to this. It's, we almost, it's almost like in our community, man, you just start all over again. Like that's the norm. That's the culture. It's like, you just start from scratch, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, matter of fact, you might not even start from scratch. When you die, it's somebody else's responsibility to bury you. You know what I'm saying? Like, GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying?
Not from the burial ground. I said, GoFundMe.
Talking about, bro,
man, me. I'm dead. GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, bro. I'm talking about, bro. I'm like, did nobody have no bread? You know what I'm saying? Did nobody plan like $1,000 or $2,000? So I know it's cultural. It's like, it's like, we supposed to just start over from scratch. Like nobody's supposed to give anybody. And you know what's so crazy, Rob? I gotta say this because my son and I did a fireside chat. This is our first time speaking together. Some institution in Minnesota based on the George Floyd death. So they literally asked me and my son to like sit in a room and do like a chat or whatever. They did a couple questions. What was so crazy, Rob, was my son said, it is the most challenging thing being a second generation, wealth coming into the second generation. And he was saying some of his other friends from other communities, all good. He's like, but I almost have to be made ashamed of. Like I'm getting dogged out. Like, oh, you was just giving this. Where he like my boys who, come from, other communities come from money. It's like everybody like, oh, like it's actually like, oh, you had to start from scratch. Oh, you had to do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's odd. And I was just, my boy.
You had to do your own thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. So my boy, Matt Ishby was on a call recently with us. Yeah, he turned his father's side hustle, which was mortgage, because he was like, my dad was a lawyer. So this was just something he was doing on the side. I grabbed it and like 18, I don't know how many years later it is, 18 years later, they number 2 worth 12 bill. You feel me? And he was talking about it like, yeah. And then my son was like, but and for me, Dad, it's kind of like, oh, your father, all you get, he gave you, all you. And my son said something deep. He was like, everybody got a hand to play. He was like, you think it's something that I was giving it, but I got to learn how to manage it. So he was like, it ain't like he just give it to me and it just gonna work on his own. So what do we do? It's this fear, it's this ignorance. And really, to be honest, when you was talking, Rob, I was like, really, the real fear is ignorance. Believe it or not, like you thinking you don't know or you don't want to know something that, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't know, it can't hurt me. It's that ain't the truth. We've seen on millions of occasions. Rob, tell them like, and I'm not saying it's easy because it's not, like you're a professional, but can you just tell us 1 or 2 things that you have to do to get this done? Because you from the community, bro. Like where you from, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
You from the community, bro. You from the community, bro. You ain't from Rochester Hill in Michigan. You from the community, bro. What do I tell a person to get this dust off, get this
craziness thinking out my brain and really get in the game. Because like Carl Point, I don't want people listening to be like, they podcast deep, but that's for E, that's for C, that's for Carl, for Maul. Maul was already in the game. What do you tell people, man, that's 1, 2, 3 to get their butt in the game?
Very first thing is that we got to stop this stigma around money. And honestly, a lot of that is jealousy, right? It's ignorance, but it's also jealousy. Oh, you had a head start in life. Well, there's nothing noble from starting from. We start from scratch if we have to start from scratch.
Right.
But if you don't have to, there's nothing noble in doing that if you don't have to. So we got to take the stigma away. So the problem is a lot of people hear this and it's drilled into their head, money is the root of all evil. That's not what the Bible says. Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And so, what I tell people is, look, having money doesn't make you evil, and not having money doesn't make you a saint.
I know that's right. Say that again.
You're not a saint because you're broke. You could still be a really nasty, evil person,
right,
and not have any money. It's what you do with those resources that actually matters. And so first of all, we have to get that, that stigma away. And then the second thing is this goes back to the lesson about the whole Robinhood, GameStop, Reddit, is that we got to realize that the playing field has been leveled. The middleman is gone. If you want to be a TV star, you don't have to be discovered. You go get a camera and you start a YouTube channel. There's a 9-year-old kid making $40 million a year on YouTube.
Yes.
Ryan's Toys, go look him up.
My kids are watching him.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to be a radio star? Guess what? You don't have to get discovered. You go get a microphone and you go start a podcast. You want to write,
Clubhouse,
you go start a blog. A Clubhouse. Yeah. There is no one stopping you now. It's cheap and it's efficient for you to go do the things that you want to do. As a matter of fact, I don't think that there's ever been a better time in the history of this planet for you to take full control of your financial well-being by going and starting some sort of businesses that leverages the internet. There's never been a better time. Our parents didn't have this opportunity. Our grandparents didn't have this opportunity. And so you have to seize it while it is here. I don't know if it's always going to be that way.
Yeah.
Right? Vine was cool for a while and then it wasn't.
Do it for the Vine.
You know what I mean? And then sort of TikTok came out, which is just like Vine, but blew up more than Vine did. I can't explain that. So the point is, I don't know what the next hot new thing is, or if any of these things are going to remain hot. But what you do have to do is you got to get off the couch and you have to take advantage of the opportunities when they're presented to you. And nobody's going to give you permission. You just got to go take it. But look, once you get all of those resources, once you make sure that your life is taken care of and your family's life is taken care of, now you can go give to whomever you want. You want to go start a school, you could do that. You want to go pay people's tuition, you could do that as well. You got to put your mask on first, like they said on the plane. Take care of yourself and your family, but then you can go help as many people as you want.
Give them permission, though. You say you don't have it. Give somebody permission right now, Rob, because some of us, our personalities, we need that. Can you give somebody permission now as an expert in the game? Give us permission, bro.
Absolutely. You deserve it just as much as they do. Here, I'll give you an insight. So one of the things that even became apparent to me in the pandemic, because what happened? Everybody had to work from home. So now the person that I'm competing with, the financial advisor that I'm competing with at Goldman Sachs, is working from his home office just like I am. So now the marble floors don't matter. The 45th floor in Manhattan doesn't matter anymore because we're both on level playing field. Now all that matters is, do I have the knowledge and the skill to do for my client what they say that they can do? So you deserve success, you deserve wealth, you deserve happiness just as much as the next person, but it is incumbent upon you to go make sure that you go out there and get it.
Yeah, that's good. Rob, we're in unprecedented times, obviously, with the pandemic and, all the things that are going on. we've done some relief on this podcast and continue to do it. I think even before the first stimulus check and things of that nature. But you do have individuals who are going to be, looks like, getting another stimulus now. So, and some of y'all, again, for those of y'all who need to use it because you lost your job or your business went under and stuff like that, you got to use it for groceries and food and clothes and all that. I get it. I'm talking to those of y'all who your job ain't changed the lick and you about to come up on, $2,000. Now, these guys are way too rich, so they'll never get a stimulus. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still looking in the mail though, Rob. If they make a mistake, I'm cashing.
And that's not true.
Me too.
And that's not true.
I'm cashing
CJ.
that joint.
That's not true. We do get stimulus checks. It's just the whole thing that we are signing the bottom of them.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Here he's talking dirty out here.
Yeah, right. Mark trying to take it to a boss level.
Always.
This
Be
is
a boss.
But
I gave my wife a stimulus check yesterday.
oh, hey, all right.
Pause.
That's a different podcast.
Is this that type of show?
Yeah. Well, it tends to be.
Quit playing.
It tends to be.
Get your claim your benefits.
Paul's last comment brought to you by Organifi.
Even talk, man.
He said I gave my wife a stimulus check. Lord have mercy. Was she stimulated? Was she stimulated?
By the check.
This is taking a turn.
Rob, you see who's who on this podcast.
I see. I get it.
Hey, you know what, Rob? I'm gonna take off my hat and I'm gonna be more like you because these jokers here, man.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and rock the body because it's more sophisticated.
Solidarity, man. Solidarity.
Man, this brother here, man. I can't even say nothing with him.
Okay. That one was actually pretty blatant. You know what I'm saying?
Set it up, Ma.
Yeah, that was. I gave my wife a stimulus check late last night.
Say late last night.
Checked her stimulation. Turns out she good. All right, let me get back. Let me get back to.
I had to leave my class for this, Carl.
You got the podcast name.
Absolutely. Stimulus check.
When you talk about, okay, so I just want to talk more like percentages, right? Like, so let's say you got a family, y'all end up getting like 2,400, right? And I think, is it 600 per person or 800 per person, something like that? Either way, let's say you get around $2,500, but you actually don't need the money because your job hasn't changed, but you just so happen to be falling in that qualification. Now, I'm saying that because, again, we're in unprecedented times where you could just be coming up on $2,500, and it may sound like not a ton of money or whatever, but from what you're telling us, that's a great footing where we can get started, especially with these fractional opportunities, things of that nature. What percentage should we take? And because I'm hyped, you guys got me hyped. I'm about to take it out of the bank and I'm putting it into the market. I'm gonna do something with my money. What percentage should I put in Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or wherever I bank? What percentage should I plan on spending? What percentage should I plan on putting in the market to go to work for me?
So here's the way that I think people should ask that question. I'm gonna frame it a little differently because it's not, I don't think, about percentages. I think it's about what you actually want out of life. Like what's your goal? So you have an opportunity where somebody's gonna drop money in your pocket where maybe you don't necessarily get lump sums like that. So you got to ask yourself, what do you want? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Do you feel like you should be paid more at work, and so you need to get a better job? Well, then that means that maybe you need to take that and invest in yourself, and improve your skills so that you can go get a higher salary. Maybe you do need to invest in your family and go hire a lawyer to put that trust together so that you make sure that your family's taken care of. Maybe you need to take some of that and go buy an insurance policy so that you make sure that you don't pass away and then your family has no way to replace your income.
That's good.
So what I think is the most important is you got to get intimate with what it is that you truly want out of life. I see so many people just going through the motions. I call them like, it's like the walking broke, right? They just sort of following the plan. They don't exactly know where they're going, but they just sort of make movements on a day-to-day basis and sort of go with the flow. But when you have an opportunity like this, now you get to say, where do I want to direct this? What do I want to see happen? What do I want to create from this? How can I take 2,500 and turn it into 10,000 in value one way or another? And so I think if people really start to take a breath and say, what are my goals? How much money do I want to have for retirement? Am I on track? No. Well, then I do need to start investing more. But it's if people were more serious about writing their goals down and making sure that they actually understood what their goals were, then they would know what to do on a day-to-day basis. Those percentages would become apparent. If they were really clear on what their goals were in life.
Good.
Yeah, and y'all heard it. Y'all can go to Rob and get this information and pay the man, invest to help him help you. One
Let
of
me
the
ask
other
one
things,
more free one then, since I got him free on here. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, what you just said was deep, but for somebody who's making good money now, how much of your money would you say to put in the bank? Is there a percentage you would say that you should keep in the bank, or don't even worry about the bank at all? Go ahead and go straight to, whatever, Apple or whatever it is.
No, you definitely want to have some cash that you can sleep, good at night, knowing that it's there. So, I would say, on the high end, if you had about 6 months of your expenses put away in cash, that's a good cushion that can allow you to take care of any emergencies. Your car breaks down, the roof leaks, the washing machine blows up. You can handle those things without having to use credit. On the lower end, probably 3 months, in an emergency fund. You want to have that cash liquid. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to be afraid of it. Once you have enough in an emergency fund, that's when, above and beyond that, the cash isn't doing anything for you there. So that's when you need to start thinking about.
Hey, Rob, is it true? I actually heard somebody said this. I can't remember where I heard it, but they say you actually losing money keeping your money in the bank because the amount that you make off of it is lower than what inflation is.
Of course. Wow. You're because the bank.
Think about that. You put 10 grand in the bank. You thinking you put it in the bank next year, you coming up. You actually losing money by having this. Not only are you not making no money, you're losing money.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though.
And they charge.
And we could talk about this, Rob. Maybe we'll do a class with this. I'm gonna be real. I wasn't even putting money in the bank to make money off my money, Rob. I wasn't putting my money. I was putting my money in there because of security. You know what I'm saying? Just because I felt like, it's gonna be there tomorrow, and I could keep my eye on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can keep my eye on it, and then I can walk up to the bank right around the corner. Like that's what I was taught. My grandfather, who was probably the most successful financial dude I knew. Like when my grandfather died, he cashed my mom and my aunts that were his children. He cashed them out, had his funeral already laid out. You know what I'm saying? He had all this stuff. He gave them money, you feel me? And gave them property, right? But my grandfather was like I ain't gonna necessarily say my hero because I wasn't necessarily a money dude, but he was definitely my model. And he kept his in a little safe in the back. You know what I'm saying? My man had his money. He'd be like, when we would come to visit, he'd tell all the little cousins, hey, y'all go in there and I got some cash in that little, we go in the safe. Oh, he have it open for us. We open it up, all take our little money. And I see stashes of money up off in the little bitty, you know what I'm saying? I guess in those days, wasn't nobody really breaking in nobody's house like that, I guess. But he had all his bread, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of it in there. So for me, I always looked at the bank as just if somebody busts in my crib, I don't want them to take my money. So it's at the bank, and I don't think you could just run up in the bank and just take it from the bank. You feel me? So to C's point, C went a whole nother level that I never even went to when I was coming up. I was just like, the bank. And then I thought legally, the banks, but I don't even know why I felt this way. But I felt like legally, the bank's supposed to be like, they got the right, monopoly. The bank hold your money. So I just thought, legally. So yeah, we gotta get educated. I'm speaking for myself, for those of you who are listening, because I'm first generation, like C with a nice shack. I'm the first generation, 1-bedroom shack. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, Maul, and I got to give Maul credit because Maul actually, taught that to me as well.
Yeah.
And Maul took it a step further and said, then they take your money that you ain't making no money on, you losing on, and they loan it to me to fix up a property.
And the crazy part is when they take my money, right? When I give them my money, they don't ask me for nothing. Just sign the back of the check. But now when I want to borrow money from them, they want to see 2 years tax returns, paycheck stubs. They want you to have somebody else sign. So for me, and that's what I always tell people, Rob, like I found, I was just like, I was guilty. I used to always wake up in the morning and then I look at my bank account and then see the money in there. And when you reach a certain amount, I ain't gonna say the amount, but when you reach a certain amount, you want to see that money.
I'm smiling.
You just want to keep looking. Every first thing in the morning I do is look at my phone to go see what my bank statement, make sure the money is secure. But what I found out, Rob, that money ain't really there. Like I'm looking at something fictitious. It's not really there. They're playing mind tricks on you. They are giving you saying, hey, this is what you got in the bank. And in your mind, you think that money is really sitting in a vault that says Jamal King. But really, you've been hoodwinked.
Ain't nobody, I've been run amok.
Hey, you been run amok.
Plymouth Rock didn't land. I didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me.
Bro, the truth is, bro, that's why it's like, all right, when I found out my money wasn't really there,
it ain't even there,
on top of that,
because they only have to keep what? Because they only have to keep what, 30%?
A certain amount. Yeah.
Bro, on top
of that. What is it, Rob, 30%?
Yeah. They
only have to keep a certain.
And they can lend about 10 times the money that people have actually put in the bank.
So if everybody asks for their money at one time,
we shot.
Bro, that's good.
Good hunting. Good with Robin Hood.
So that was when I just decided.
It's a wonderful life. My man,
it's a wonderful life. Everybody waiting in line.
Take 20. Man,
but that's when I had decided. I was like, man, look, instead of putting my money in the bank, I'm going to put my money in the bricks. You ain't gonna, my bricks ain't gonna never shut down. And if the building happened to blow up, I got insurance on it, right? So my money is secure in those bricks. And at the same time, instead of the bank paying me 0.001% interest, my tenants now are paying me 1,000% interest every single month for my money being in the bricks. Indeed. And the money is growing because of the value of the property is going up. And I can write off the building depreciation and things like that. So it just made sense. It's like my money. I had to tell CJ this. I had to tell CJ.
Carlos Quinny.
I had to literally
tell CJ. For the rest of this podcast, please send your cash out.
I'm about to share my location. I'm about to go to the bank. If something happens, y'all know where I'm at.
Let me tell you this. I had to tell CJ because CJ was scared. Every time I'd be like, see, we about to buy another building.
I get my money.
He always want to know how much it costs. He'd be like, how much it costs, Jay? And he had that look on his face when he nervous. I'm like, bill costs 100,000. We're gonna just use 100,000 cash. It costs 100,000 to fix up. See, like, man, we're gonna spend 200,000. And I'm just like, bro, the money is in the bricks. Like, we're not. I said, see, you got to stop looking at it like we're spending this money. We are merely transferring it from one account
from the bank to my backyard.
The value is still there. It ain't gone. It didn't disappear. And I think people can't get over that concept because they actually think that they need to hold
two dolphins. See.
And Jamal, you know what the difference is that people that aren't necessarily financially educated, they just want to pull up the app and see their money.
See it.
People that are wealthy understand that they see their money on financial statements, income statements, and balance sheets. It might not be on the app.
Let's go. For real, it's too much.
It's going to show up on
too much, Rob. Too much free information. Kill it. Kill it.
And look, and here's one more thing, guys.
Yeah, go
that
for
I think is real important, right? Because when you think about putting your money to work in the market and all of that sort of stuff, guess what? You're sitting behind your computer or your app. There's no hiring manager that gets to decide whether you get to play or not. There's no institutional races. When I go buy shares at GameStop, nobody knew who I was on the other side, right? So there's two ways to do it. There's a longer term way. When I was just starting in the business, 2005, I had a little rollover from my old company. I took $3,500, which may seem like a ton to people, but may not seem like a lot to other folks. Decided to invest in Apple, something that I knew, that I grew up with, that I liked and enjoyed the products. And then 15 years later, that $3,500 is worth $350,000. And I didn't have to do anything other than log into my Fidelity account. And again, there was no hiring manager that said, we're going to give the job to, we're going to give that money to somebody else.
Talk that.
And then there's a faster way as I grew and became a professional and had more knowledge, then this GameStop opportunity came across. And I showed you guys, I took $15,000 of my client's money and turned it into $230,000 in about 2 months. Now, let me be clear. I'm not suggesting to people that happens every day, that, I could snap my fingers and that's just something that, that we can create and make happen. But what I will say is that you are more in control of your life and your destiny when you're good with your money, and there will be more opportunities where that came from. So you have to be in the game.
Rob, last question. What do you do when you have friends that are crazy ballers and you trying to keep up with keeping up? I like to call, you heard of Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Yeah.
I call it Keeping Up with the Kings.
The King.
That's hard. Keeping up with the Kings is hard.
Listen, man.
That's hard.
Yeah, because it's real keeping up.
Yeah. So Maul over here, he's got pools in his house, saunas, all kind of stuff. So I caught myself trying to do a kitchen, and I bit off more than I could chew, Rob. Long story short, I need to GoFundMe.
It's okay.
What do you suggest?
It's okay. It's okay, fund me. It's okay.
Money is not spent. It's only transferred from your bank account to the bricks.
Well,
hey, it's time to sell this house then. You know what I'm saying? I need to sell. Seriously though, man, always appreciate you jumping on with us, man.
Yeah, for real. Likewise, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
a blessing to have you on. Let the people know where they can reach you, Rob. Just y'all go follow him on IG. You might see him on CNN, like he said, CNN, MSNBC, all the networks. Seriously, proud of you, man. Feel like, you one of our own, blowing up, man. We got people, around us, man, that's just, going to the next level on every front. So congratulations, continued success. Let the people know where they can contact you.
Yes, sir. I'm at Rob Wilson TV. Everywhere on social, you can get me there. People can email me directly, rob@robwilson.tv. And you can find my book on Amazon or securethebag.me.
Hey, Rob, thank you, bro. Let me say this.
Man.
I was teasing all show long, but if this is the reason why CJ was rushing me to be on the call today, because this the only day you could be free, it so makes sense, bro, because
100%.
This information that you're giving out is so needed, bro. So thank you, man. Thank you. And I'm hoping that, those people who are in a position, to really take their money serious, that they would go to a pro like you. I'm co-signing, y'all, if that's what you're looking to hear. I'm co-signing it. I'm telling you, it should be step one that you take if you're listening and you got a couple dollars and you want to do something with it and you're ignorant, not stupid or dumb. You're ignorant as it relates to this lane. Give my man a call, and I'm just going to be real. I'm going to call it out. It's February, 7th, 8th? What's the day? The 8th? I'm calling it out.
Right now.
I'm calling it out. Listen to me closely. I'm calling you out. Go with your brother, all right? Go with your brother. It's a lot of you want information, but you feel like information has a color on it. You feel me? You feel like, I don't know if I could go. I don't know if Rob know what my man... Bruh, it's not Rob Wilson TV because he want to be on TV, okay? It's because he on TV, okay? And those who are informing the world are asking him to come on their show to inform the world. So do me a favor, bro. Don't go with these big companies just because they got big names, or go with people because of the color of their skin. My man, come home.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real,
appreciate
bro.
you, Rob.
I'm just saying, you know how it is, Rob. People go with other people because they like, oh, he black. He don't know. No, bro. Stop playing games. You came to Jamal, make real estate real. You go somewhere else, they're going to charge you 20 grand. They ain't going to give you half of what Jamal. Come home. Come home to not only a person who has the information, but understands your circumstance. That's what you have to understand. There are people that can give you information, but they don't necessarily understand. Kid called me the other day, Mom was like, yo, E, I went through this assessment group. I went through this. Ain't nobody doing it like you, E. I said, because we all got information, but I'm giving it to you in a way you can understand and apply it. So Rob is going to give it to you in a way where you can understand, you can apply it. Thanks again, CJ. Not that I need to inflate his ego anymore, but thank you for bringing Rob on.
Hey, Rob, appreciate you, man. We about to, Rob, we're going to stay on a couple more minutes and let Jamal tell us how he checked his wife's stimulus last night. But we appreciate you as always. Rob Wilson TV, we'll see you, brother. Appreciate you, family.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Next week, Rob.
As always, man, this podcast is brought to you by Organifi, ORGANIFI.com. Promo code SUCCESS, man. Go on there, get your supplements, get your green juice, get your proteins, whatever else you need, man, to get yourself in shape, healthy, and feeling good. Also, of course, make real estate real. Y'all know what it is, man. You just heard Rob and Maul breaking down all that good information. What better time to get started in real estate than right now, man? Get on there, learn how to do it. Some of y'all got checks coming up, things of that nature, man. Definitely invest in yourself. Also, my man up there on the top, my top left, Solo Creator Pro, out here killing it as always, man. Carl.
Are you on your top left? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he on my top
bottom
left. Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure it'd be different on. Yeah,
Man.
y'all check Carl out as well. Hey,
did you see the? I can't let you. You talking about Solo Pro? Did you see the little thing in the
Shout
background?
out to Marshall.
The logo, the Solo Pro logo in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Marshall sent me a little present.
Bro, I
this
thought
week.
that was a
opened the
corn
box.
maze.
Oh no,
Oh, that's
sir.
fire.
It's the S
That's
C
fire.
the P
Oh
right
no,
in
that's
there.
fire.
I told Carl, I said that's fire, bro.
Yeah, no, that's.
Oh
definitely
yeah,
fire.
I thought Carl had just went to the store and they hooked him up with like some electronic boy thing.
Hey, don't that look like the Bitcoin logo though?
It did.
Hey, let's go. I'll take that.
Wow.
Hey, you know what I was gonna ask y'all? I wanted to ask before the Super Bowl, but I didn't know if y'all seen it. Did y'all see Brady? I ain't gonna say kick this family out, but you see he had the family move out the house 12 days
12
before
days.
the Super Bowl out.
Yeah.
Wife
12
and kids gone, so he could study film all 12 days straight.
Hey,
Savage.
but come on,
I was gonna ask y'all fair or foul. Has Carl ever tried to kick Tamisha out? Has Carl ever tried to put Tamisha out for 12 days when he was working on Solo Creator Pro? I don't know.
Better. He just went in and put her out on his own. He just went in his own caveman and shut the door. So that's better.
But we also got to remember what kick out the house mean for them. They probably was somewhere, in
There was the Seychelles Islands.
Oh, no, for sure. But still, 12 days, don't nobody want to be away from their luxuries and your man and your father for 12. But again, for cats who on that, my wife tripping or, whatever, everybody tripping if you ain't getting results. Like if you make me suffer and you make me sacrifice and ain't nothing happen as a result of it, I'm pissed. But if, Ma, small thing, and she'll kill me. But I'm telling you, I saw, man, my girl yesterday I'm like, it's a commercial. But I just saw her like, man, like, wow. You
saw a twinkle? You saw a twinkle?
I did.
You saw a stimulus
check?
You saw a stimulus?
Mo wasn't the only one, right? The devil is a lie.
You done check
that real stimulus check.
The rental properties.
A tingle in her eye.
Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money?
Let's not do a podcast on Monday again,
Right. I'm going to just tell Candace, look, I
didn't think I had this kind of energy, Carl. I was a little struck. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have energy getting up at 3, but with C, it's easy to do, bro.
Hey, one more thing to eat, dog. Let me tell you something, dog. You ain't the boss of me, dog. Leave me alone, dog.
You ain't the boss of me.
You know what I'm saying? That's why he wrote this book. He tried to act like he wrote it for the kids. He wrote it for me.
I promise you, I know.
Me and Didi.
He's still bossing me though, Mom. I got to get off of school. Hey, I love it though. He thought, I don't think he renewed because he don't care. He know it was my entrepreneur class. He thought I was doing like a trading, and he was like, "Hey, tell Moose to finish that joke up. Get your butt over here." I'm like, "It's a class."
I didn't.
Like, get your butt. So he's still bossing me, Ma.
E's schedule, like who could honestly know E's schedule, dog?
Oh yeah, no.
How could you just got to go day by day, dog? You literally from 3:00 and now you're on the West Coast, so it's even harder for me to calculate. It's like ridiculous. So, anybody got any plans coming up?
No.
I'll show y'all I'll show y'all the kitchen soon, man. My man, he about done.
Fire.
About done, so.
Fire.
Carl.
Okay, we're proud of my little brother, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know. CJ did a major renovation and it's fire. No cap.
Oh, yeah, no. He gonna show y'all. It's fire. But I was gonna say, Carl, we'll do it next week. But he's asking what we doing. My goddaughter is here for a week. And so we got her, we went and bought skateboards. So I showed Carl I was on the skateboard doing baby tricks, Ma. It's been 40 years, Ma. So it's baby be tricks, but I'm gonna be back in a minute with the full boys. But I was going down the hill like, okay, E, my wife was like, if you don't get your butt,
Hey, Ma,
I'm talking about this here. She's like,
let's
if you
make
don't
sure we
your
get that
butt
key
off of
man
there right
insurance
now.
immediately.
We need that key. You
We
read
need
my
that
mind,
key
bro.
man insurance.
Oh, man.
I need that key man right now.
Right now.
In
He's
case
about to tear his whole life up.
Oh, I promise you, bro. I ain't fooling with no skateboards. Oh, also, I want to thank E for just rubbing it in our face that he and Callie just on the gram, walking by the ocean every day and just trying to act like it's a motivational message when, you know what I'm saying, it's really tearing folks up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's motivating anybody else, but it's hurting me.
Ma, what was your temperature this weekend?
Bam, negative 32
Yeah,
degrees.
we was negative.
It was so doggone cold out, I had to go buy a real coat. I couldn't even, like, my jacket wasn't hacking. I had to get a real coat. And then it was crazy because that same day, Carl, that same day, remember we was on the morning call, the Sunday morning call? While we on the call, see, we hearing E getting in the car starting up. We like, what's going on? E like, oh yeah, I'm headed to the beach. It's about it's about 5, 6, 7 in the morning. I'm headed to the beach with the family, bro, and it's freezing cold in the house.
Come on, y'all. I'm setting the table up. The table is set. Get out of there in the winter.
Don't set me a table. Buy me a crib. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we've been talking about it.
They got some. Yeah, they got some in the neighborhood. Matter of fact, we was in a cul-de-sac. He was like, "That must be Carlin house. That's a cul-de-sac right there." I was like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's make some phone calls. Let's get it."
I'm gonna have to sell this house and get rid of this kitchen first. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about this kitchen, boy. This kitchen done turned into the whole house got to be done. I called Ma the other day. I was pissed, wasn't I, Ma?
Oh, pissed.
Ma was trying to calm me down. I said, man, listen, I got to do. I don't even want to talk about it.
You got to do the floors.
Nah, bruh.
You're gonna appreciate it at the end. And Ma,
when you write them stimulus checks.
Hey, you know how you got like a little string on your hoodie and you like, oh,
you
shoot.
pull that joker.
And then you got a wife beater by the time it's done. That's what my kitchen turned into. You know what I'm saying?
You can't even say kitchen no more, bro. You all the way throughout 50% of the house.
Bro, he renovating the spot, bro. Yep. It's a renovation.
Can't even say
like, got him in the reno. He didn't even know he was in the reno.
He did.
And it's got him set up.
But now I know how E feel. This is by force, not by choice. So she just forcing me into it. All right. Well, E, we'll let you go. I appreciate your cooperation on a Monday. I know how difficult this was for you being the best motivational speaker in the world, an international superstar with a Super Bowl commercial. But I appreciate you taking time to hang out with the little guys and just toss it around the horn. You know what I'm saying?
I got on the sweater so they can't see my eyes, Maul. So show them all.
Oh yeah. Maul on a whole nother workout
Where
now.
the muscles reside? Where the muscles reside?
You know what I was thinking about yesterday though, man? I don't know. Somebody sent me a clip of the podcast and was like, I was just dying laughing over this, whatever. Man, dog, I missed the studio bad. We still making this Zoom work, but man, I want to get back in the studio,
still
dog.
ain't the same, bro.
Man. We need to get back in the studio.
Didi said, how long is this podcast? We done, D.
Appreciate y'all listening. Go leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
Let's go.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul.
We had a guest. You know what I'm saying? My bad, DLC. No, we had a guest. My bad, D. I got you.
Wow. Must have been Jesus Christ himself.
Dame Dash.
Close. It was his son.
It was definitely his son.
His son, Rob.